Wow, what a first round of the NFL draft of 2017. What's going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking some NFL, talking more NFL draft. And wow, you know what? I just want to get into it, basically sort of give you guys my thoughts on the draft. I made a video about, Mitch Trubisky going to the Bears, which was one of the biggest shocks of the draft. But now I want to talk about the winners and losers of this draft. And I'm going to be sort of jumping all over the place here because there is a lot to get to. And I don't want to go into too much detail with every pick, like I said, because of what happened and teams trading in and out and who I thought was a steal of the draft, who I thought teams reached for, and whatnot. So with that being said, let's just get started. First, let's start with the steal of the draft. I thought it was clear-cut O.J. Howard, who fell all the way to 19th. Yes, that's right, 19th. O.J. Howard was, in a lot of the mocks that I saw, projected to go as high as number 6 to the Jets. And I really thought the Jets were going to draft him. But they also got a good pick in Jamal Adams. But with that being said, O.J. Howard drops all the way to 19th. Okay, the Titans could have used him a pick before. And he somehow slips past all these teams. The Bucs got an absolute steal. Another weapon for Jameis Winston. I love it. I love it. I love it when teams that have their franchise quarterback do whatever they can every year to surround them with more talent to maximize it, because the NFL, it goes year by year. Teams win the division one year and then they fall out the next year, so you want to maximize on that talent, and then that's what they're doing. Jameis Winston. Now you got Mike Evans, O.J. Howard, Deshaun Jackson they got in the offseason, and then they still have Cameron Brate, so you can even have a 2 tight end set. So a lot of good talent with the Bucs. Their offense is going to be powerful, and they could be challenging for the division title next year. So O.J. Howard, definitely the steal of the draft for me. Now we get to the biggest reach of the draft, and the easy answer here would be to say the Bears with Mitch Trubisky, but I made another video talking about that specific pick exactly and why I defended the Bears for taking Trubisky. Now, did I like the fact that they had to give up 3 picks to get him? No. But again, this is about drafting a quarterback, the most important position in not just football, but all of sports. And so the jury, to me, of this selection, and if Trubisky is a reach, is not right now. It'll be out later when we actually get to see him. If Mitch Trubisky pans out to be the franchise quarterback that the Bears expect him to be, the Bears will be the ones getting the last laugh. So I don't want to say that was a bad pick. And for more reasoning on that, check out that video that I made about that. But let's move forward. I thought another player, and I'm not going to say he's going to be a bust. He's going to be a very solid player. But Mike Williams, the Chargers took him at number 8. Okay, the Chargers, instead of, filling needs on defense, went receiver. And they are stacked, pretty stacked with their receiving corps. Keenan Allen's going to come back. Tyrell Williams had a breakout season. They drafted Hunter Henry last year, and he was a very solid rookie tight end. They still have Antonio Gates. And so now you're adding a guy like a Mike Williams, who is going to be solid. Nothing spectacular, but solid. And instead of addressing the defense and a lot of the other holes that you had, you reached up for him. I just wasn't a big fan of that. I thought they could have waited for him or gotten him later on. Another team, I thought those teams in the back end that passed up on Reuben Foster, like the Raiders and etc., I thought those teams really could have used them. Reuben Foster, I guess, quote-unquote, is the loser of this draft because he dropped so much. But all of those teams that passed on him are also going to be losers as well. I'm talking about in the back end. So with that being said, those are sort of my losers of this draft. And again, just going pick by pick here and just sort of jumping all over the place. So some of the picks that I really liked in this draft, Corey Davis at number 5, the Titans. A lot of people did not see this coming. The Titans, they thought we're going to go defensive. And I could have put the Titans in the same category here as Chargers, but here is the difference to me. Phillip Rivers, back end of his career. Marcus Mariota just about to enter his prime. And just like I said with Jameis Winston and them surrounding him with talent, the Titans are doing the same thing with Marcus Mariota, and I love it. And they actually have more of a need for receiving help than the Bucs did, because they had Rashard Matthews as their number 1 receiver. They lost Kendall Wright in the offseason. They still have Delaney Walker and then Tajay Sharp from last year, but Corey Davis is going to be their number 1 wide receiver, and if he pans out to be a quote unquote franchise wide receiver and becomes worthy of this number 5 pick, we won't even talk about them passing up on all the defensive talent because, again, the development with Marcus Mariota is going to be so crucial for the Titans that this pick was worth it for them. Next up, Christian McCaffrey, going to help the Panthers a lot. Another weapon for Cam Newton. Very multifaceted running back. Look, I don't love him in between the tackles, but the fact that he can return punts, return kicks, the fact that he can catch out of the backfield, I think there is so much value in that. And with the Panthers, you need that dual threat. You can have Cam run the option now with McCaffrey. It just adds another dimension to their offense, and that's why I like the pick so much. Deshaun Watson to the Texans. Look, they traded up to get Watson, but they needed the quarterback. And again, I just have a different level of, if you will, sympathy for teams that try to get quarterbacks, because I know once you have a franchise quarterback, you are set for the next 10 to 15 seasons. And if Deshaun Watson proves to be that guy for the Texans, then it was worth it as well. They only have Tom Savage on the roster right now, so Watson's going to get all his chance to compete for the starting job. And then you got a stud defense. You got great receivers around him, DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. So I love this landing spot for Deshaun Watson, and I love the Texans for picking Deshaun Watson. Jonathan Allen fell all the way to 17th. I thought the Redskins got a steal with him. He was supposed to be a top 5 pick at one time. Evan Ingram, the Giants, they are competing with the Bucks and other teams to have, I would say, the best receiving corps in the NFL. Now they have Brandon Marshall with OBJ and Sterling Shepard, and then now you add the tight end in Evan Ingram, and Eli's going to have a lot of mouths to feed, not to mention that they have a great defense. Giants are going to be a legit team next year. Looking forward to that. Jabril Peppers, the Browns had a great draft. Myles Garrett and Jabril Peppers, getting him at 25. What was it? Oh, that was a steal for him. For them, they're building something great with that defense over there, so I like that pick for the Browns. Marshawn Lattimore fell all the way to 11 for the Saints. Their secondary needed upgrading so bad. Same with the Colts. I like their pick with Malik Hooker. He fell to them as well. So a couple of good teams, a couple of bad teams in the secondary, upgrading their secondary, which I liked. So I like those picks for them. And like I mentioned before, Reuben Foster, I thought he was a steal where they got him. And I thought, the teams that are going to pass on him, he's just a playmaker. They're going to regret that. So I like those picks. So those are some of the best picks that I liked in this year's NFL draft. Let me know what you guys think. Who are your steal of the draft, bust of the draft? Leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.